Hi everybody, it's just me, Mrs. Mills again, with video number 4. I think it's been a long week. I've taught all week this week and I haven't done that for a while, so my brain's got a little bit foggy. Today I wanted to talk to you about developing the children's independence, and I know we've had quite a few emails from some of you, saying, how do you do it? How do you get them to sit? Because when I sit with them, they won't do anything, and they'll only do it if I literally give them every letter to write down, or if I give them the maths answers. They won't do it without my help. Are they like this at school? How do you do it? How do you get them to do the work? And I think, be really brave here, because actually the children will quite happily let you spoon feed them if you could. It was really noticeable for us as a school in September. The children who'd been away for longer came back, and some of those really basic things like getting the date down and handwriting and times tables and those real basic things were missing. And I think that's partly because they didn't have all of those warm-up games that we do lots of things in school like that, but it was because actually it was easier for us sometimes as parents to give the answers. I know my daughter, she's been doing timetables rock stars, and she's doing it really quickly, and she goes, "What, Ma, what's 6/8? What's 6/8? And I go, "Come on, 48, because actually you want to get them, you want to help them." And it's really, really brilliant that you want to help your children, but we need to also encourage them to be independent. And what we don't want them to get into a habit of is something we called learned helplessness. And we often see that sometimes with children, particularly if they've got a one-to-one adult. It's really easy for them to become over-reliant on that adult to do the work for them, and that's something we want to always avoid. We want to teach children to have the skills to manage those situations themselves, and that's what you need to be trying to do at home a little bit with them as well. At school, they can completely do things independently, and I know that as a parent. I'm like, do you do this at school? And my children are like, no. I'm like, well, could you not do that at home? And that's, I think that's just the difference between school and home. And that's a really, nice to celebrate those key differences. But when they're doing their work with you, just a few tips to help you to get them not to be doing it with you all the time, and to help them to become really independent learners. Don't be afraid of encouraging them, and as I said in another video, praise is key, and praising the effort rather than the work sometimes is a really good way of praising the children, rather than saying, yep, that's the right answer, brilliant, you got the right answer. You could say, that's brilliant, you worked really hard to get that answer, you used all your math skills to work that one out, well done, even though it was hard. Give a timer as well. Use timers, so praise and use a timer. You could suggest, right, I'm going to leave you alone for 5 minutes to do this while I go and make a cup of tea or put the washing away. When I come back, I want to see how much you've done on your own. It might be, for a start, they might have done nothing, but if they've done one little bit, really praise that. You did that all on your own, that was brilliant, well done. We sort of go back to that idea of rewards as well, and you can, use instead of a reward for what they've done in their work, you could say, right, you've got 4 bricks today, 4 bricks, 4 counters, Lego bricks, bits of pasta. You've got 4 bits of pasta today, and if you need help, you can use one of your bits of pasta. So you can ask me for help by using one of your bits of pasta. But once you've used all your bits of pasta up, you can't ask for any more help, which will help the children to think, actually, do I really need help on this question, or shall I save my pasta for when it gets really tricky? Some of you are being really super brilliant. You'll be like, I'm not helping at all. You've got to be super independent at doing this. And again, we want to celebrate that as well. Celebrate them being independent, but don't let them feel that they can't ask for help. I think that's the real key. At school, we talk to the children about how to go about a task. So we say things like, I wonder if there's a different way. I wonder if we forgot something. I'm finding this really tricky. Are you? In the newsletter this week, I'm going to put in an information sheet, and it's come from the Education Endowment Fund, and it's called Trust. And I will what I'll do is I'll try and share it off my screen with you, just like that, and it looks like this. Trust. And that is to give you some help about how to talk to your child. So T, take turns to make plans and make predictions before starting a task. So you might say something like, I wonder how many questions we're going to get right today. What do you think? So, take turns and make plans, predictions. I think we're going to get 5 out of 6 right. How many do you think we're going to get right? Then R, recap, check your ideas, check your understanding. So do you think, is this the way we should be doing it? Right, should we just check again with the method? Should we recap? Yeah, that's great, you're right. It might be if you're doing even if you're lower down the school and you're doing some building or some playing, the example they give is, why do you think that tower fell over when you added that last block? So recap and check their ideas. U is use encouragement and praise to keep the children engaged, which we've talked about. S then is for share your prior knowledge or past experience, to link it to what you've learnt. So when you're doing an activity at home, you might say, oh, have you done this at school? Have you learnt about this at school? So do you think this will happen because you learned that at school? And then the last one is T, so trust T. Tune in and listen to your child. Be curious about their learning. Be curious about their interests. I didn't know you were so good at maths. I think you are amazing at your times tables. I know that you love writing. Should we write another bit of the story today? So really tune in and think and praise what they are really good at and what they really enjoy. Working together is key. Work together as a pair, as a partnership, or as a little group. Don't be afraid that if one of your children is doing one task and you've got 2 or 3 children, they can all do the same task. It's okay to work together. You don't have to be like, no, that's the year 3 work, you can't do that. You can do it all together. That's absolutely fine. If you're doing the work, you could always say, well, I'm going to do the maths questions here. Do you want to do them on your own there? And you can do them together. So actually the children can see you writing down the work and you doing the work with them. And make the learning fun for you as well. Like, oh, I wonder what happened to Tutankhamun. I wonder what happened to some of those pharaohs in Egypt. Should we find out? And, when you get then, you send the work off to the teacher will be sending you feedback in the emails. Make sure you feed that feedback back to the child as well. So, your children will love to hear what your teacher says. Sometimes teachers are sending me some of that work and I'm doing my very best to reply to the child as well, to say how proud I am of that work. And teachers will also give a little bit of next steps in that email as well. So just make sure you feed that back to the child as well. But don't do it, midway through dinner. Don't say, oh yeah, you got some feedback from your teacher. They said it was really good, but next time don't forget to show you working out, because actually then that's not going to be relevant. But the next time you start that task, you could say, should we look back at what the feedback was from your teacher last time, so that they've got that in their brain. So to recap, try not to spoon feed them all the information. It's okay for them to work independently. You could set a timer. I'm going to work on your own for 5 minutes, or you could set a little reward system where they can ask for help, like a tally chart. You can only ask for help, with these 4 bits of pasta. Encourage them to be independent, but don't expect them to do everything all on their own. Think about the language you're using. So use the I wonder phrase. I wonder this, I wonder that. Remember that trust, which I'll put in the newsletter. Work together, model it with your child and do it with them. If something's hard for you, it might be hard for them, or they might be able to teach you something. So model it together and work together, and be like a team of people going through it rather than the teacher. And don't forget to share the feedback with your children as well. Okay, I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.